I had kind of a cool, had a really cool moment the other day. I went out to breakfast and there was a triathlon on the screen. And I'm looking at a bunch of guys that are in their mid-20s to mid-30s, all not particularly amazing to look at. They didn't cut it in the NBA, they didn't cut it in the NFL, they didn't make it somewhere, and so they end up doing these triathlons. And some of these guys, they're very talented at it and whatnot, but I started looking at it and watching it through these eyes of somebody that's looking thoroughly unimpressed. And I was thinking, I could go and I could run a triathlon tomorrow. I'll show up, I'll be a little bit overweight, a little bit uncomfortable in the mosquito part, but I'll show up and I'll do just fine. But the thing is as I was watching it, there was this one guy who was pushing the race. He was number 29. I'll never forget it for the rest of my life. Number 29. And I'm watching as we're waiting to sit down, and then throughout breakfast, I'm watching at this 28-minute race, and I'm watching, and this guy is pushing everybody. And there's one other guy that's trying to keep up with him. But by the time they left the biking portion, which was first, he was about 18 seconds ahead of everybody else. And I'm watching this guy, and I'm having this conversation, and I said, what's wild about this is that people do these triathlons, and a lot of them pay a lot of money to go there. This guy was not even from the country that this triathlon was going on. He was from South Africa. And I'm watching him, and I'm thinking, this guy spent thousands of dollars to be here, but he decided that he wanted to win or burn out trying, that he was gonna go for it. And everybody else was very contented in the beginning, being in the middle of the pack. They just didn't want to let go. They wanted to finish in a respectable place. But this guy decided, I'm going to be number one or nothing. And I was watching this guy, and I'm cheering him on, and I'm super excited about it. And by this time, me and this person that I'm out to breakfast with, we're watching the screen, and we're thinking, this guy, he might do it. But he jumps into the water, which is the second portion, and he fell behind. And then by the end, when they got to running, he fell so far behind that he didn't even finish in the top 10. And I know a lot of you are looking at me and you're like, this is a terrible story. Why in the world are you sharing that with us? The point is, you can either burn out or fade out. You can either go for it now or wait for the perfect opportunity to go for it. Was this guy ready? Was he in a situation where he could have done it that way the whole time? Maybe not. Maybe he just got a cramp. But the point is, he went for it until he got the cramp, until he burned out. He decided, I'm gonna finish at the top or I'm gonna finish at the bottom. I'm not okay with being in the middle. And I was so inspired by that. I was so blown away by it. But then honestly, I watched it, I was like, it's okay that he didn't win. Because he flipping went for it. And that's where so many of us live our lives. Sitting in a booth at breakfast, watching a television show, and thinking, I could do that. There's no way in the world that I probably would have been able to do that. At least I probably would have finished outside the top 10. But I was watching it and I was judging the situation, and I was armchair quarterbacking, and I was criticizing, but I was not doing something amazing myself. People that have a business worth minding to tend to mind their own business. When their business is not worth minding, they go and they mind everyone else's business.
Say it again, Serpa.
I'll say it again, and I'll say it louder. People that have a business that is worth minding, mind to their own business. People that don't focus on winners. They focus on other people's business. Stick to your business. Put your nose down. I love, all of you guys watched the Olympics recently, right? And everybody saw the guy that was, and we don't even know his name, that's the point. The guy who was talking trash about Michael Phelps. He was talking trash, he was running his mouth, And then what ends up happening, they released this paperwork of, or this video of, or this picture of Michael Phelps smoking pot. Like it's gonna run his gold medal hopes. And you know what ended up happening? Michael Phelps showed up, and he crushed this guy, and there's this great picture of this guy looking at Michael Phelps, and Michael Phelps has his head down. Winners focus on winning, losers focus on winners. So forget what is happening in the rest of the real estate world. Do you know how many times I've been reported in the last 2 weeks?
Yes.
And they always assume the same thing, that I don't have the paperwork to cover it, that I'm not doing something that is right. They see something on Facebook, they report me. That's okay, keep reporting me. I'm gonna focus on winning. I had decided that I was not going to address it on Facebook. I thought for a long time, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna write a Facebook post, I'm gonna address all my haters. Hey haters, guess what? Keep watching, tune in. But do you know what I did? I let it go.
Let it go.
You never reach down. Be quiet, Susan.
You're fired.
Don't reach down. Don't reach down. Go for it. Keep encouraging other people. If you want to reach somewhere, if you get to the top and it's lonely at the top, reach down. That's where you reach down. When you get to somewhere worth going and you can bring people with you, reach down. Don't reach down to focus on the haters. Reach down to help the next person up. Be a Scott Horman. Be a flipping Sean McCann. Be an Andrew. Be a Jessica. Be somebody that goes out there in the world and says, hey, you know what? The water's fine over here. Life is good here. We don't focus on haters. We focus on winning. And because we have focused on winning, because we've focused on dreaming, we've made something worth having. Guys, it is easy to look a child in the eyes and say, follow your dreams. That's easy because their dreams are 10 years out. Their dreams are 5 years out. But somewhere along the way, people stop looking at adults in the eyes and saying, follow your dreams. That's dangerous because it gets people uncomfortable. When you look them in the eyes and you say, hey, go follow your dreams. Get after it. You get one life. There's evidence to say that, hey, energy keeps going. Yes, you know what? I believe I'm going somewhere else. Great. What we know, and I'm not talking about faith, what we know is that we have one life. We have one life. And you can either spend your entire life being affected by everybody else and being affected by the haters, or you could spend your life building something worth reaching down to help people build their own thing. Guys, isn't that why we're in real estate? Because we want to help people? Isn't that the culture that we want to create here? Make the decision to follow your dream. And when you get there, when you have enough momentum going, reach back and help the other people to dream a little bit. Where did we go wrong that we stopped dreaming? What happened was a year and a half ago, a year and some change ago, I talked to Susan Eber and we had this conversation. And what ended up happening was we had a dream. Mm-hmm. We spent 15 minutes where we were talking loudly about the things that most people are not willing to admit to themselves that they want. And we went for a dream. And you know what ended up happening? We had agents last month we had teams where they made over $70,000, $80,000, $90,000. We had individuals that made over $40,000 last month. We have a culture of people in this room that are helping each other. We have Michael Marchina bringing people in. We have Jessica bringing people in. We have Christian Stone mentoring people. James Shelby, Christian Stone, and Zach Bach have this cool competition where they're all going after each other. And they're all pushing each other. But it's an environment thing. And if you talk to anyone that works with Christian Stone and anyone that works with James Shelby, they're grateful for it. It's awesome. It's just awesome. Kim Still Associates has a cool thing going on in Fallbrook. They're building a tribe. They're building a family. They go out to dinner together. Guys, focus on winning. Bring people with you that want to win. Because last month, Signature Real Estate Group had the biggest month it has ever had. And you know what? That's the beginning. That's the beginning. That's where it starts. And so I encourage you all to go out there, dream a little bit, say the things that you don't want to say out loud, say them out loud. Throw your goals out there. And when you start falling short, push each other. When you feel like you have nothing left to give to your own business, give to somebody else. Because what ends up happening is the energy that you create, the energy that you put out in the world comes back to you. The best way to achieve what you want is to help as many people as you can achieve what they want. Everything else will fall.